guys, we're Spout 360 and we're here right now at Riff Rivals Taiwan with the coach of M17, Jordan. Jordan, could you say hi to our viewers?
Hey guys.
Alright, so firstly, I think we'd like to talk about LMS performance over here at Riff Rivals at Taiwan, because we saw a really exciting best of 5 series yesterday between LMS and the LPL, and right now, currently ongoing is the LPL LCK series, which is also very close. So just what are your thoughts on the LMS performance here at Riff Rivals, and also do you think that the gap is closing between these 3 regions just because the games were so close?
Honestly, not just me, but all of the coaches talked, and we're actually pretty surprised with how well we've done in general, because LMS is going through a really weird split where, you know, Flash Wolves benched some of their members, HQ's kind of been slumping for a while, J-Team's testing out a new jungler, the meta changes kind of hurt us. So honestly, we're pretty surprised how well we did compared to LPL, and I think the gap between LMS and LPL is definitely closing. The gap between LMS and LPL to Korea, I don't know, but I mean, LPL might take this best of 5.
So do you think it's kind of like LMS overperforming this time and maybe LCK LPL a bit underperforming, would you say?
I don't think LMS overperformed, because watching our games, I don't think any of us played any better than we did in LMS. Maybe HQ. HQ, I think, here played very well, but Flash Wolves, J-Team, us, I think we played about the same. I think it just turned out the gap isn't as big as it looks watching the 3 different regions.
I mean, AHQ definitely had some very good performances at this competition, I think, because in the LMS, AHQ hasn't been doing all of that well. But then I think when global fans just think about LMS as a whole at Worlds every year, all they think about is, you know, Flash Wolves, AHQ. Those 2 teams always make it to Worlds, but AHQ weren't doing so well in the recent split. Do you think that come this Worlds is going to be the same old story, Flash Wolves and AHQ going to make it to Worlds again? And do you think your team has a good chance at making it to Worlds?
So I think Flash Wolves are definitely going to Worlds. Right now in LMS, they're kind of still just a tier above everyone else. HQ are most likely, they're testing out Westdoor again, and they're looking a lot better. And you know, LMS is a 3rd seed this split, and I think even with RG doing so well, it'll be between us and J-Team, and I'm confident this time it's going to be us.
That's nice. So I want to ask you a bit about your personal history as well, because you've been a coach for several of the LMS teams so far. You started out on Machi, and then you went with HKE. I think we all remember the IEM performance where you guys took a couple of games and you guys had a decent showing. And then come this year, you're back on Machi again. So could you talk a bit about just why you chose to move back to Machi? Do you feel more comfortable there? And does it kind of feel like going back home to you?
So, especially being a foreigner in a different country where I don't understand Chinese at all, like my Chinese is terrible, it's like being on Machi for a year, those guys are like my only friends in the country, like it really is like a family. And then I went to HKE because I wanted to change, but it just never felt the same. So I definitely it feels like I came home coming back to Machi.
And I mean, it's a bit, it's not too common for LMS to really employ a lot of foreign coaches. I mean, there are a couple of Chinese coaches over in the LMS, but I think it's a lot more uncommon for someone to make the move from NA over to Taiwan, such as yourself. So could you just talk a bit more about why you moved to Taiwan in the first place? Did you feel that there are more opportunities? Is Taiwan the better region than NA?
So I started watching League after Season 2 when TPA won Worlds, and ever since then I've followed LMS. So Season 5, before I was here, I was watching LMS, following TPA, Machi when they were doing pretty bad, HKE, and to me it just kind of felt right. I really like kind of the cheesy underdog story, so Taiwan just kind of felt like a natural fit.
It's interesting that you mentioned TPA, because I also wanted to ask just about the Garena regions as a whole, because I mean, after TPA, there hasn't really been just an outstanding team kind of from the Garena region since the LMS split off from the rest of Southeast Asia. So I just wanted to hear your thoughts on just what do you think about Garena's decision to a few years ago split off from Southeast Asia, and do you feel that there are good opportunities in SEA as well for growth? I mean, we've seen Gigabyte Marines, we've seen a couple of really good Southeast Asian teams.
So I think C as a whole got kind of shafted in getting split from LMS because I don't think regions like Singapore, Malaysia, Indonesia have like the funds or the player base to really support that many teams. But I think Vietnam has really benefited. I think they have a huge player base, lots of financial stability. They have great viewing numbers, and like you said, like GAM showed up great at Worlds, not Worlds, MSI. But so I think Vietnam within the next 2-3 years is going to be like a big region that could compete with Taiwan.
Yep, and I think we're probably going to see GAM at Worlds, but also I do hope that we are going to see your team at Worlds. I hope that Rift Rivals has given your team a lot of very good experiences and that you guys have learned a lot. So thank you so much for doing this interview with us today, and signing out. It's been good having you, and we're Spout 360. Goodbye.